Hi, folks. This is Crow for sportscrapology.com. Coming to you from our offices in Knoxville, Tennessee. We're going to talk to you about the NFL today. And it's off season for the NFL and what some of these writers do in the off season. I know it's probably not all up to them. It's probably their superiors are telling them to do this. But it seems like they have to put a story out every couple days about whatever team they're covering. And some of the stories just get really ridiculous and they make no sense. And it's a bunch of crap. All right? So I'm telling you, don't read it all and don't believe it because it's a bunch of crap. Now, I'm a doctor of crapology and I can sift through this crap and tell you exactly, what's going on. Interpret this crap. But anyway, they love to write about quarterbacks, and they love to have quarterback controversies and quarterback situations where who's going to start. So they love to write about the Steelers. The Steelers writer loves to write about quarterbacks because they have 4 quarterbacks. Well, the Steelers have 4 quarterbacks. Yes, they have 4 quarterbacks. So every week somebody's out. It's like the first week, oh, Mike McCarthy really likes Will Howard, so Mason Rudolph is going to get cut. Well, they're going to release him. And the next week it's, well, Mason Rudolph's the only one with starting experience in the NFL. So, probably Will Howard's going to get cut. He's going to get released. Which is ridiculous. Why would you cut Mason Rudolph, who started in the NFL, starting experience with the Titans, with the Steelers? Why would you cut Will Howard in his second year, who has talent, pretty smart guy, can play in the NFL? I'm sure he can play in the NFL. If not a starter, he can play as a backup. You would trade them. You would not release them. And you get these headlines like, oh, bad news for Rudolph. Will Howard looking good, bad news for Rudolph, And they got Drew Aller, too, a rookie. Big 6'6", strong arm rookie. Okay, you know what the Steelers are doing? They're starting Aaron Rodgers. They got Mason Rudolph because if Aaron Rodgers gets injured in the first or second game, Rudolph can step in no problem because he has experience playing in the NFL, being a starter, being a backup. He can step right in and it's not going to be too big for him. If Will Howard, they think, is that good through preseason and everything, they will probably trade Mason Rudolph to some team that needs a backup quarterback. Or to the Jets, who will start him over whoever. They won't probably start him because but he's better than all the quarterbacks the Jets have. And all the quarterbacks the Jets have had for years. But anyway, it's just ridiculous. And then, the Browns, they love writing about the Browns quarterback situation. Oh, well, Deshaun Watson's back. Bad news for Sanders. He's going to get released. Deshaun Watson has played 2 games in 5 years. The guy's a criminal. It's ridiculous. Deshaun Watson's not going to start for the Cleveland Browns and light the league on fire. If he does start for the Cleveland Browns, he's going to get injured again, or he's going to throw 3 interceptions in his first start. The guy can't play in the NFL. It's just ridiculous. It's because they have this big contract for him, and that's why he's there. But, Dylan Gabriel looking good, bad for Shedeur Sanders. They're going to release him. They're not going to release Shedeur Sanders. He'll get traded. Dylan Gabriel could even get traded. He's worth something. He started in the NFL. He has some experience. There's teams that are desperate for guys who can start in the NFL and it's not too big for them and they don't get flustered and they do, can start and just not, have 4 turnovers in one game. But it's ridiculous. All these stories. The Raiders too. Mendoza, number 1 pick. When is he going to start? Will Cousins start or will Mendoza start? Well, why do you think they paid Cousins big bucks? So he can start. Otherwise, if they just wanted somebody to back up Mendoza, they already have him. They have Hayden O'Connell. It's ridiculous. Oh, well, is Mendoza going to take over in week 2, week 3? You know, it's ridiculous. No, he's not. If Cousins is healthy, if Cousins is in and he's not terrible, if Cousins gets injured or is terrible, Aiden O'Connell's going to step in because he started in the NFL. He's going to step in, and unless Aiden O'Connell totally screws everything up, Mendoza's not going to go in till, at the end of the season. If they're out of the playoffs or something, games don't matter, then maybe they put Mendoza in. But Mendoza's going to sit and learn for a year, for a season. That's why they have these veterans around him. But they write this crap because, we got to write something that, people will read and, get people excited about this. It's not exciting. It's just a bunch of crap that crapologists, doctors of crapology like me, have to sift through so I can tell you that it's a bunch of crap and what they're going to actually do. God, I'm glad my LA Chargers don't have this kind of stuff. They're just in training camp, basically the same team, some decent rookie wide receivers. They'll be a little better because they have a little better offensive line, a little better wide receivers, a little better, another good running back, and, that's it. They got a different offensive coordinator, but Mike McDaniel will have a better running scheme. So they'll probably be a better running team, which will help Herbert's play action. They got a different defensive coordinator too, but I have some confidence in them. I think they'll be okay. But it's just a bunch of crap. All the stuff on the internet, they're just putting it out there so that, somebody will read it. Somebody clicks on it, we got to click. It's really basically a bunch of crap. Anyway, this is Crow for sportscrapology.com. Go to YouTube, sportscrapology.com, and see us in X. Thank you for watching.